Okay, Bismillah. So this lecture, inshallah, will be on claim letter. But first, before we get to that, we're going to learn about letters in general. We're going to learn how to write. This is important, of course. And you'll be writing two letters. One called claim letter, and the other one is called adjustment letter. And we'll come to that at the end of this, or the second half of this lecture. So first, we'll talk about how to write letters in general. What are the elements that are inside the letter, that your letter should have? And that's important. You remember them by heart, inshallah, because you're going to do it practice. And also on the midterm, they might ask you what comes in the letter, the different elements. So you remember them and where they come exactly. What comes first, what comes underneath, and so on. For example, where does the date come? Where do you write the date? Where do you write, where you sign? Where do you write your name? Where do you write the address? What does it have? The introduction, the discussion, the conclusion. Okay, all of these things, pay attention to it and memorize it, inshallah, understand it and learn it by heart. So we start workplace letters, elements and formatting. How does it look like and shape? Elements and formatting. So lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the reasons for writing workplace letters. Recognize the standard parts of a workplace letter. Recognize the specialized parts of a workplace letter. So there are two parts here. Standard parts, okay, in letters, in all letters, and you have specialized parts, okay. Arrange the parts of a letter in the correct format. That's a small, short exercise at the end. You'll arrange it so it will look good and nice. Why do we write letters? Why do we write letters in business? Let's talk about business. Why I don't know. Okay, maybe you are requesting a vacation. That's the first thing. You didn't start business yet. First start working, then request a vacation. Okay, why do you write letters in business? Try it again. Why do you think?
Maybe applying for a job?
Okay, you write letters to apply for a job. To explain something. To give information. To request information. Yeah. To discuss a problem. To ask for a meeting. Different reasons, right? Complain, which is claims letter. So different reasons you can. I'm sorry?
Reporting is included or not?
Reports, yeah, well, yeah, you can write it in a letter or introducing the report. You write the letter and say, I enclosed the report. So let's see, you have personalize your message, create a professional impression, present a carefully constructed case, provide an official notice or record. So remember these, okay, just in case. When you study, remember these. Standard parts of a letter, okay? That's the shape or the way letters look like. And at the top here, we have the heading. That's the company's name, your company. The company's name already printed on your stationery, on your papers, okay? And we'll have maybe your logo, okay? And after that, we have what? We have the date, comes immediately. So the first thing you type is the date, because the heading is already there, okay? So the first thing, remember, you write the date. And the date needs to be in full. You don't say, not in numbers, so the 12 like number, but August, okay? You write August. American dates, of course, different from ours. They start with the month and then the day, okay? So you have the date. Then you have the what's called inside address. That's the address you are sending the letter to. Okay? On top here, the heading is the name of your company, the logo maybe, and your address. The inside address is the address where you are sending the letter. Okay? After that comes salutation. Okay. Salutation, Mr. Dear, whatever, you know, stuff like that, okay? That's salutation, all right? Then you have the letter, the content, المحتوى. You have the content of the letter, and you have the introduction, okay? Who you are and why you are writing, okay? Then you have the discussion, the subject you are writing about, then you have the conclusion, okay? After that, you have a closing.
Closing, including to the conclusion, maybe? Or it's different?
No, it's different. Closing meaning yours, regards, best wishes, yours faithfully, sincerely, stuff like that. And then we have spaces, about 3 spaces empty, because you are typing, correct? So you leave 3 lines empty, and then you write your name, okay? The space that's empty, sign it after you print it, okay? So you sign it here, after you print it. Any questions so far? We'll get to each part in detail, but any questions so far? Clear, inshallah? So this is important. Remember what comes first, what comes second, and so on, okay? Because you're gonna do 2 letters, and also they might add 2 letters, and they have marks, okay? And also they might ask you on the midterm, not the quizzes, the midterm, all right? So let's move on. So the heading, okay? That's the first thing, okay? It's called letterhead. So if they ask you what's the letterhead, it's called heading. It's the name of your company, maybe the logo, and the address at the top of the page, at the top of your letter or page. Okay, most companies have an official letterhead. I'm not talking about somebody selling sandwiches, okay? Companies, okay? They have money, so they have to present professional image, okay? If they don't have something like this and just write letters, it will not look very professional. So the letterhead, you have the name of the company, logos, okay? The address, basically. That's what it is, okay? Next, you write, we are supposed to write a date, but here, okay, this is like, okay, so this is the same address that we had before. This is address, it doesn't matter really. Okay, so you have the date, because we had the address already. Okay, the address is on the letterhead. So then you have the date. You don't have the address, because the address is already on the letterhead, correct? So you write the date. This is confusing. After that, okay, that's the date. And then, but look at the date. They write in full, August 12th. So you write it in letters, the full name. You don't write numbers, okay? So this is the American version, okay? You start with the month, then the day, comma, and the year. Arab version or rest of the world version is different. So they start with the day, okay? So stick with this one. Write the month first, okay? Write the month first, just in case, because I don't correct your papers. Other teachers will correct the papers. So maybe they stick to this, so it's better to be on the safe side. Use this date for the exams and for the stuff, okay? After that, it's different. Okay. After the date, we have the inside address, which is the address of the person we are sending, or the company we are sending the letter to. So Mark Ingram, whatever, sales manager, and the address, and the state or city, country, whatever, okay? Salutation. Always start with dear. Dear Mr., dear Mrs., whatever, you know. Depends really how much you know the person. Maybe you write each other a lot, you became friends, you know each other personally. So it differs. But dear, you know, you start with the dear, then Mr. or Mrs. or Ahmed directly if you know him really very well, you know. So it depends how professional you want it to look or how personal the letter is. If you don't know the recipient's name, the person who is going to receive the letter, use sir or madam, okay, or their title, okay, the marketing manager. You know who is this, you know, but so dear, whatever, marketing manager, dear sir, dear madam, you don't know male or female, you write both of them. Okay? If you don't know you are addressing male or female, you put it this way, both. You know for sure she's a female, but you don't know the name, maybe you can say, dear madam. You know he is a male, dear sir. But if you don't know, you write both of them. If addressing multiple people, more than one person, okay, sometimes the letter goes to more than one person, okay, use an attention line. So instead of dear madam, dear sir, whatever, okay, or dear Ahmed, you are sending it to 5, 6, 7 people, okay. You write attention and you write the names of those people. Maybe you are sending it to the marketing department, but you don't know who's in charge, who to send it to. So attention, marketing department. So when it gets to the company says, okay, marketing department, they send it to the marketing department, and probably the guy in charge of the letters will open it, or the manager or whatever. Now you start your content. You start your content, and the first one is the introduction, of course, and explain who you are and why you are writing. Okay, who you are and why you are writing. You don't have to mention your name, of course, just I am the company and the purpose why you're writing it. So don't give your name, but explain the capacity you are writing, meaning your job. What's your title? Okay, what's your title? You mention your title. Then you have the discussion. You go in details what you want. You want to buy 500 chairs, leather chairs, whatever, black and with armchairs, whatever. So you go in the details and write in the discussion, and give the details of your message here, and include all the information the reader may need. So if you are ordering 500 chairs, you're going to specify their number, what color you want. Okay, what kind?
This one in the including?
I'm sorry?
This one, the last part, will be in the conclusion?
No, this was in the discussion. In the discussion, yeah. So you write all the information that you want to buy 500 leather arm chairs, leather, and usually the number will be, there. So you write the number for that chair, because probably they make more than one kind of chair. So, okay. And finally, in the conclusion, tell the reader what happens next. Okay. For example, you can say, please send us the invoice, how much it costs, whatever. Once we receive this invoice or the estimate, we will place our order. Okay. So you tell him what you're going to do next. Okay. So general guidelines for the content. General guidelines for the content. Use lists to make information easier to read. So if in the discussion you want to write so many things, many points, so make it into lists. Don't make it like a paragraph, okay? Because it will be like they might miss a point or something. So when you write as a list with things you want, it makes it easier for the person who is reading the letter, okay? Keep paragraphs short. Okay, keep paragraphs short. If you want 500 chairs, okay, just ask for 500 chairs. Don't say, oh, I remember the first time I bought a chair from you, I sat in it, oh wow, I felt so good and had good back support and I felt very comfortable and nice, but he's busy. He doesn't want to hear that, okay? Closing, yours sincerely, faithfully, and so on. We'll talk about it. So on the left says yours sincerely. If you know the recipient's name, if you know the name of the person, you write yours sincerely. So please remember, okay, how to write it. Don't make spelling mistakes, please. Okay, we stopped. You finished 002. You're grown up now. Okay, professional. I want to see good writing. No spelling mistakes. You use computers anyway to write, right? You use PowerPoint. So, you remember the word since November, since October? You start with since, okay? R-E-L-Y, okay? So if you remember the word since, okay? I haven't seen him since yesterday, since 1995, okay? So remember since, and then you add R-E-L-Y, rely. يعتمد على. كلمة rely يعتمد على. Depend on. So you have two words, since and rely. Since and rely. So then you can write it correctly. Yours sincerely. If you don't know the name of that person, you write, what do you write? Yours truly or yours faithfully. From the word faith, we have full, Y. Faithfully. Okay, so divide the long words into sections. You remember them, inshallah. Any questions so far before we move on? Is that clear, inshallah? Okay. Should mirror the formality of the letter. Okay, so the more formal the letter, starts or ends with like respectfully, cordially, best wishes, warmest regards, regards and best. You can write it down, you know. So when you start from here, this is the most formal, and when you go down, the least formal. So it depends how much you know that person. Did you get to become friends after a while? So you might say regards, warmest regards, best wishes, best. If you really don't know very well that person, you keep it official, okay? Formal. So you can start with respectfully, you write down at the bottom. Cordially, okay? So remember these, please, and remember that they come from the most formal to the least formal. And then you write your signature and name. The name, of course, you type it already, and then you write. Then you type when you print the letter. Okay, you sign it here. Okay, you leave 3 spaces, three lines, blank lines, and then you type your name. When you print it, you sign it in the space that you left. All right, so let's move on. We did that. Leave 3 empty line spaces, then type your full name and title on the 4th and 5th lines below the closing. So if we go back here, so you should have 3 spaces or 3 lines, blank, then your name, and then what? Your title. No, the signature comes here after you print it, the title here. After your name, after you type your name, you type your title, okay? Marketing manager, okay? Sales manager, purchasing manager, whatever. Director, whatever your title is. What's the meaning of title? Lockup, okay? Your title at work. So here we have the letterhead, correct? Then we have what? The date, correct? Then the address. After that, salutation. Then introduction. After that, discussion. Next, conclusion. Closing. Yours faithfully, yours sincerely. Okay, stuff like that. And then you leave 3 empty lines, and you write your name and what? And your title. Your name here and title underneath, and after you print it, you sign it. Okay, any questions? So when you write, inshallah, 2 assignments, this is the way it's going to be. It's going to look this way, inshallah, okay? It's easy. Okay, what's difficult going to be what? The stuff here. But inshallah, you'll do it. Okay, but that's the format. It should be easy. Okay, so yours sincerely, her name, or his name, Headley Lamar, and customer care manager. Okay, that's the end. And if you are writing on behalf of the company, write the company name in block letters, capital letters, okay? In capital letters before your signature. After you say yours sincerely or yours faithfully, if you are writing for the company, how is that? For example, I can write a letter to apply for a job, to buy a book on the internet, okay, or whatever. I can write a letter to somebody. I'm an English teacher, EFL teacher, lecturer, okay? So I write my name and I write EFL lecturer. That's my title. That's personal stuff, correct? But that's my title. But if I want to buy books for the college, for YIC or YELI, so my boss told me, buy books for us, buy desks, buy whatever, chairs for us. I'm writing on behalf of the company, not on me personally, okay? So I write before the signature, I write the name of the company in block letters. Okay, so remember, if they ask you a question, for example, you are buying 2 TV sets or 2 computers or 2 projectors for your home. Should you write the company name? No. So you need to be aware of this. If you are buying them for the company, then you write the company name in block capitals, which means capital letters. Okay? All of them capital letters. Let's see, maybe they have an example here. There it is. So from the personal manager, this is personal. Okay? This is personal. Okay? Sincerely, and the signature, his name, Sean Payton, personal manager. Here, from the whole company. Okay? Same guy, but from the whole company. B's Engineering, that's the name of the company. So he writes it after or before his signature. And notice that it is capital letter, all of these letters, the name of the company. Don't forget what you learned in 002, capitalize proper nouns. Remember what to capitalize and what not to capitalize, okay? So, the name's Sean, Payton, sincerely, and you start any sentence with capital letter, correct?
Yeah.
So, remember these things, inshallah, so that you don't make mistakes when you do the 2 assignments. Any questions so far? Clear? Sure?
Yeah.
Inshallah. So let's move on. Specialized parts of a letter. We talked about the standard, okay, parts of a letter. All letters have that. Now we come to some specialized parts of a letter. Okay, so here we have distribution list, subject line, typist initials, attention line, enclosure notation, and postscript. We'll start with the distribution line, and basically how many people is going to, the names of people is going to. If it is like, let's see, distribution line, for example, the CC, okay, carbon copy. You are sending it to me, but also you want the copy to go to my boss or some other employee. So you use CC, okay, carbon copy. Carbon copy, that's the original name. Carbon. Remember? You don't remember, of course. But maybe you watched people typing a long time ago. They have 2 copies. They have the original here, and then you have carbon, you know carbon copy? Yeah. Carbon, and then you have another page underneath, right? So whatever you type on this page will be printed on the last page. Okay? Yes, like the receipts. So they send that copy to the CC. They used to send it, okay? Now with a computer you just click on CC. Okay, but when you write letters, that's the way they used to do it, okay? Then okay, so let's go back because we are including now the specialized list. Here, what do we have here? The heading, the letterhead, correct? Right? Then you have the date, then the inside address, then we come to the distribution list, okay? All right? And after that, if these are specialized, so you might not use them, Okay, but if you need to CC somebody, you write it there. Attention line. If you are writing for a specific person, you want certain people to see it or certain person. So, for example, attention marketing department. You want it to go to the marketing department. Okay. Subject line. What's the subject? Okay. These are specialized. They don't come in all letters, but if you need to do them, that's where they come. Okay. So remember them. If they ask you about the specialized elements that come in a letter, these are 6 of them, right? It's about 6. Distribution list, attention line, subject, typist initials, enclosure, and postscript. Typist initials, if you have a secretary and you're a big company, you don't type your own letter, the secretary will type the letters for you. He or she will type the letters, correct? And then you read them and sign if you want to sign, or change, tell her to, or tell him to change it. So the typist name, if I type a letter, my initials will be JS. Jamal Salama, they'll type JS. Enclosure notation. Maybe you are sending a contract. Maybe you are sending brochures, whatever your company is sending with the letter. So you want to tell them that you included other things, and you mention them here. Enclosure notation. Okay. So you have here, after you finish you have the introduction, the discussion, and then you have the conclusion, huh? Right? The ending, whatever. And then you have yours faithfully or whatever. And then you have the signature. Then you have your name and your title. Then, if you need, if this is the way the company does it, some companies will have the typist signature or initials. And then the enclosure notation. Enclosure, 1, guidelines, 2, presentations. It's up to you. Enclosure, brochures. Enclosure, contract. Okay? Like attachment, but you name them. You name what they are. So if they miss something, they open and, okay, something is missing. Okay, the brochures are missing. It says the brochures, but I don't see brochures. So they write you back and say, we did not receive the brochures. Okay, so you mention their names. And then the postscript. Postscript, like something you thought of at the end, you know. So postscript, this is an important point. This is an...
What is the postscript?
Postscript, something you thought afterthought. You thought of it later on. So remember something, so you write it. Okay, postscript. Formatting. Okay. About the margins. You know what the margins are, right? Around, right? Anybody doesn't know the margin? So the space from the edge of the sheet paper to the writing. This is called margin, okay? So you have 4 margins, top, bottom, left, and right, okay? Supposed to be from 2.5 to 4 centimeters. Usually it's 2.5, but it depends on the company. It's like from 1 inch to 1.5, something like that. You learned when you write paragraphs to do indentation, right? 5 spaces, you move 5 spaces. You don't do indentation, okay? So no indentations, single spaced, okay? Don't make the paragraphs double spaced to make it look very big, mashallah, like you do in your reports. Single spaced, okay? You have double spaces between paragraphs. Okay, 2 lines, 2 blank, empty lines between paragraphs. Okay, but the paragraphs themselves are single spaced. And that's it, basically. That's the formatting. The margin, single spaced for the paragraphs, no indentation, 1 line of 2 spaces, 2 lines for the separation between paragraphs. Clear, inshallah?
1 line between what?
I'm sorry?
1 line between?
2 blank lines. It's called 1 line space, but you go twice. You hit enter twice, so you have space between paragraphs.
Empty line, you mean?
Yeah. Blank, yeah. Otherwise, you don't know where the paragraph ends, especially since it doesn't have indentation. If you put them together, paragraphs, you don't know where the paragraph ended. So you leave spaces or blank lines between paragraphs. If you, all right, that's inshallah pretty much. Okay, if they ask you about the modified block or the block, this is the formatting, okay. The block is everything on the left. Okay, everything on the left. But really, the letterhead could be in the middle. The letterhead could be in the middle, okay? But everything else is on the left. That's called the block formatting, and that's more business-like. Most businesses use this. They have modified block. So you have the letterhead. Well, it's not really right. It's really, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, it's right. It's not in the middle. And you have also the greeting at the end, like yours sincerely and so on. And you have the name, the signature, and the name, and the title. Okay? Yeah. So you have two things on the right. You have the letterhead, and you have sincerely or yours faithfully with the signature and the name of the person who's writing the letter and the title of the person. You have it on the right. So, well, actually, right, but well, let's say it's like starts from the middle, because this one goes all the way to the right, but this one doesn't go to the right. So if we say right, it will reach here. So let's say it starts from the middle. Okay, and if it's long, it will reach here. If it's not long, it will stop wherever. Okay, so really it starts from the middle. If it is long enough, then it will reach the right. If it doesn't, no. But yeah, think of it as that you are starting in the middle. You are starting in the middle, and you're going right. All right. Any questions? So, subsequent parts. Okay, so let's say that your letter has 4 or 5 pages. Long letter. 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Okay, very long letter. Okay, so after you finish the first page, let's say that your letter has many pages. Okay, 2, 3, 4 pages. Okay. So after you finish the first page, which we just did, and we finished, and we looked what to do, everything, the elements and the formatting, now we come to the second or third or fourth page. And what you do here at the top, you write the recipient name, the person who is receiving it, and the date and page number. Why do they do that? Maybe they drop this page. Maybe it falls down, something rips off. So they find it, okay, they know it goes to Ahmed, okay? And Ahmed will take it and know, okay, it's with the other ones, it's page number 2 or page number 3 and the date on it. So this will help them figure out where does it go, okay? So you have the recipient, date, and page number. Head each page with the recipient date and page number. Don't use a subsequent page just for closing. Yours sincerely. Let's say that you are writing 1-page letter, and there's no space for yours sincerely and your name and your signature and your title. Let's say there's no space for the first page. Don't write it on the second page for that. You have to reformat your letter. Make the lines shorter, adjust, take some words out, maybe a sentence you don't need. So don't make a subsequent page for just, yeah, for a closing thing. Okay, don't do that. Okay, that's not okay. Okay, there's an exercise here. Okay, short exercise. Workplace letters. The task, use the information below to create a business letter. Okay, so what do we have here? What should we have? Which block should go here? Where is it? Show me. Show me where. from these different choices? We have 6 choices. Well, come closer. I'm sorry? Person on the right? Second position? The first one. Yeah, first one on the right. Yeah. You need to speak louder. So who spoke? Who said that? You need to speak louder. Yes, you're correct. The first one on the right, from, that's the name of the company and the address of the company. So that goes in the letterhead here. What comes here? It doesn't. We don't have it. But what comes here? The date. Okay. What comes here? Which one? Which one is it? 2. Sales department. Okay. What comes underneath it? Salutation. Not solution. Solution is a different word. Okay. Salutation. Salutation. Tahiyya. And after that we have what? We have introduction, we have discussion, and we have conclusion, right? So which one comes here as the introduction? I am writing to you to request information about your industrial storage products. Yep, that's correct. What comes next? Discussion. Which one? We are expanding our premises and need a lot of additional storage. I have enclosed a plan of the new building for your reference. Then what comes next is the conclusion. Could you please send me all available information on any suitable products you produce? Okay. Then after that, what do we have? Yours sincerely, and so on. Okay. And then we leave space for the signature. Then your name, and after that, your title. After that, maybe the typist initials. Okay. After that, enclosure. And finally, PS postscript. Yeah, PS. Very good. So we are done with the general formatting or elements of letters.